All the indicators are we're headed in the right direction.
For 20 years, James Cameron has been working with tech guru Vince Pace to create cutting-edge movie equipment.
I just love to tinker and I love to build things, and so does Vince.
So far, they've been responsible for over $4.6 billion in box office receipts. A lot of that from Avatar in re-engineered 3D. Do you consider yourself a storyteller first or a technology person?
Always a storyteller first, absolutely. But, you know, I work in a very technical medium. Obviously,
now they're unveiling Camera & Pace, a company where they can keep improving on their cameras while leasing them out to other filmmakers.
And that's the goal, is to make the process organic.
The first thing I think about with 3D is glasses.
Right.
When I think of glasses, I think it's kind of a pain, unless it's really worth it.
Right.
What's the state of technology when it comes to audio stereoscopic?
Well, I mean, obviously, we all want to get rid of the glasses. You know how you can feel when it's about to rain? I have that feeling, that it's just around the corner.
You've also said that in the next 4 to 5 years, you think everything is going to be 3D. Would you bet your bank account on that?
Well, I sort of have, at least with respect to this investment in this company.
But James Cameron is doubling down on 3D at a time when there's some doubt about its future. Last spring, a slate of 3D films underperformed at the box office, and critic Roger Ebert called it a waste of a dimension that can create nausea and headaches.
For the majority of people, the reasons that they're having a bad experience are it's authored badly. That's going to go away as more people do it and we have better industry standards.
To fix bad 3D, Cameron is introducing his own 3D certification. Big-name directors are already working with him.
Steve Quayle directed Final Destination 5.
It's not like, oh, it's 3D, it's an added benefit.
And it's here at Camera & Pace that Martin Scorsese learned to craft the 3D images in his latest film, Hugo.
As he rotates the controls, you see that it reaches a null point on his face, where his face actually disappears. And that just means that the point of interest is on his face. So that's where you would be looking to on that visual journey with this cut piece. We've given them another paintbrush, and they're going to show you a different painting.
James Cameron is also lobbying movie theaters to update their projectors.
And you've got subjects going chug, 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 chug across the screen, which is what happens at 24 frames a second. It's very hard to watch sometimes. The same technology that makes the 3D possible, which is digital projection, makes higher frame rates possible. It's a very, very quick fix, actually.
But movies are no longer the company's only focus. Camera & Pace is moving into television, a move some say will be difficult.
Television is very different from movies. We just want to relax and watch television.
Paul Levinson is a communications professor at Fordham University and author of nearly a dozen books on the changing media landscape.
The only narrative in which 3D is needed is where special effects are paramount and crucial to the story.
3D will add value to any kind of entertainment. I don't care if it's a game show, you know, talking heads interview show like what we're doing right now. This would be great in 3D.
Really?
Absolutely.
Why?
I'll tell you why. Because people love to watch people, and people are fascinating in 3D because you feel like you're really there with them, as opposed to watching flat symbolic information on a screen.
But 3D television still account for only 11% of sales in North America, so networks are reluctant to invest.
Well, part of it is I think we have to proselytize with the networks and say, look, let's look at this differently. Let us offer you a business model that makes sense so that the incremental cost is not that great. We started off making cameras for films, but all these cameras along here are sports cameras. And you know, that's what they mostly go out on. And so it's really driven us to create a bunch of new technologies.
Early on, sports networks wanted to shoot 2D in addition to 3D, but that is expensive. Now, ESPN is investing heavily in these cameras, where you get both in one contraption.
So here is a standard 2D camera package that has a long lens application to it with a 2D, a single operator device, and then you have a piggyback 3D camera on the system.
Because of sports, TV is now 50% of Camera & Pace's business, but the company wants to make TV 90% of what it does.
Well, it's our main focus as a company. If we're going to make this win financially, creatively, you know, quality entertainment into the home, then everything else will backfill from that.
I would be perfectly happy if we got to a world where 3D was no more a point of conversation than color is now. You know, when it ceases to become important is when we've kind of won the fight.
When do you think we get there?
5 years.
5 years?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah. We're well on track.